Hey, this is Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan and also a candidate for Long Beach City Council District 2. For this video, there's going to be pretty much nothing about veganism, so if that's what you're here for, just come back next time. And by the way, I have a little cold, so bear with me here. Many of you guys have been asking me, how's the race been going? What have I been encountering? And as a political newcomer, this has been an eye-opening experience, more than I ever had bargained for. I feel like the old movie from the 30s, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
But of course, if you've got to build a dam where that boys' camp ought to be, to get some graft to pay off some political army or something, well, that's a different thing. Oh, no!
So one big eye-opening thing I learned in this election process is how our mayor will select who he wants to be his candidate of choice to win the city council seat so he can maintain his power in City Hall. And his choice for this city council seat was Cindy Allen. And unfortunately, it turned out to be a quite controversial choice because, as you'll see, a whole story just broke out this week about all the fraud and corruption in this decision. So as I'll cover here, there's dispute as to whether or not Cindy even lives in Long Beach, which is a requirement for running for city council here. There's controversy about which political party she's truly affiliated with. And I think the biggest scandal of all is the alleged sale of her company to a company that doesn't really exist. So this story really begins back in June of 2017 when our current District 2 representative Janine Pierce was involved in a drunk driving scandal and the subsequent cover-up by the city. After which there was much chatter around city politics how unelectable Janine would be in her next re-election attempt, and apparently Cindy Allen got word of this chatter because just weeks after this drunk driving incident, Cindy changed her 21-plus year registration as a Republican to a Democrat, and she also changed her primary residence from outside of Long Beach in Fountain Valley, which is in Orange County, to here in Long Beach. And in case you're wondering, registering as a Democrat is extremely politically advantageous here in Long Beach because Long Beach is overwhelmingly Democrat. So Cindy owns 2 condos in downtown Long Beach, a 1-bedroom and a 2-bedroom. And it's this 1-bedroom unit that's the subject of all the controversy because that's the one where she's registered to vote at that address. And she said most recently here in 2020 at this Democratic Study Club questionnaire that she lives in the 1-bedroom unit. So here's where things start getting a little dicey for Cindy. According to her Form 700 of economic interest filing, and I had to file one too as a candidate, she listed her Airbnb rental, this condo in downtown Long Beach where she makes approximately $10,000 a year. I've listed it on Airbnb, and I might just point out that the HOA for this condo strictly prohibits Airbnb rentals. Remember, she owns 2 condos in Long Beach, so which one is this Airbnb rental? Well, it's the very same one that she lists as her address, where she's registered to vote as a Democrat here in Long Beach. Here is the listing as of February 16th on Airbnb, and you see here, clearly, it's a 1-bedroom rental. And she's even a superhost. So which is it? Does Cindy Allen live in this 1-bedroom condo or does she rent it out on Airbnb? Well, when the Beachcomber contacted her asking her this very question, that very same day, she immediately removed the listing from Airbnb. And furthermore, there's plenty of evidence showing that she still most likely lives in the house in Fountain Valley, which she's had since the 90s. Look at these 2 campaign contributions, one to Mayor Robert Garcia, another one to Councilman Al Austin, and you'll see from 2013 and 2016, the address that she listed for her residence is in Fountain Valley. So next, let's move on to what I think is the most interesting part of the scandal, the alleged sale of her advertising business to a business that doesn't really seem to exist. And the reason why she needs to sell her advertising business, as I'll show you here, she has so much business with the city of Long Beach and the mayor that if she were to win, this would pose a conflict of interest. All in all, her advertising company, ETA, brings in roughly $700,000 annually through its various contracts for working for the city in its advertising efforts. On top of that, even more money comes into ETA through work with our mayor, re-election flyers, campaign flyers for Measure A, and so on and so forth. So on October 2nd, 2019, this PR newswire hit the internet that Blume Media to acquire award-winning creative company agency ETA and continued global expansion. Yes, according to their own website, they're a powerful global company with 5 offices on 3 continents. Plain as day here, they say they've entered into a definitive agreement to acquire ETA, her company. And not too many days after that, Cindy officially announced her running for the city council seat. And she must have felt pretty good about Blume Media buying her company, judging by this quote here, how the company and culture are such a good fit. So now the story gets really interesting. Beachcomber, who originally broke this story, did some research into Blume Media, particularly their website. You would think this successful global company, that they would have a website and a domain name which has been around for years. Well, actually, if you go and do a who is search, you'll see it was registered on October 4th, which is a few days after the press release that I just showed you. So to give Blume the benefit of the doubt, I looked up the domain name that they used on that press release, bluelive.com. And you would think, again, that would have been registered for years if they're such a big, global, successful brand. No, it was registered back in May of 2019. So what makes this sale between Blume and ETA even less believable is looking at their articles of incorporation here for Blume Media. They're followed by its owner, Zachary Stroud, who we'll talk about more in a second. But if you notice the date here, it's from November of 2019. But the sale happened, according to the press release, back in October of 2019. To add even more confusion to this, when the Beachcomber found and asked Zachary Stroud about this sale, is it finalized? Has it closed yet? Stroud said, no, it's not closed yet. And asked, how can we get more information about when it will close? Stroud said, I'd rather have you talk to my chief financial officer, Jay Kennedy. And we'll see more about him in a second, because this is where the story gets really weird. However, at the same time, Cindy's saying, oh, the sale is closed. I've got the money. I'm already out of there. I have nothing to do with agency ETA business any longer. So which is it? Well, as of tonight, if you go to Agency ETA's website and look at their About page, Cindy is still listed as the founder, and I can find no mention of anyone such as a Blume Media having purchased them. So now the story keeps getting weirder and weirder. Remember I was telling you a moment ago how the Beachcomber was pressing Zachary Stroud of Blume Media about when would this sale finally close? And Stroud kept just saying, hey, you need to talk to my CFO, Jay Kennedy, I don't know. So they tried calling Kennedy, the CFO, at the number that Stroud provided. And every time they called, the automated response said, no matches found. And not to be deterred by that, the Beachcomber diligently tried the 3 other executives listed on the Blume Media website, and for all of them, the same response, no match is found. Since the Beachcomber broke this story, Blume Media has since removed this page that shows their 4 executives, but fortunately a cache still exists on Google, so let's check it out here. So here are your 4 executives, supposedly for Blume Media, and you could mouse over any one of them and get their name and bio, and here is Jay Kennedy, the CFO. Now to the really incriminating stuff here for Blume Media. If you know how to do a reverse image search, this is what turns up. It appears that Jay Kennedy's image is a stock photo. And sure enough, you could purchase Jay's image here, portrait of a middle-aged man stock photo for $12 from iStock by Getty Images. And the same is true for the other executives that Blume Media had up on their website, which I told you they've since tried to remove this page. Here's the nice smiling executive, and here's the lady with the cool beaded necklace. Also, I tried looking up on LinkedIn for any employees I could find that worked for this large global brand. You'd think there'd be quite a few, right? The only one is Zachary Stroud. Wow. And remember, Zachary Stroud told the Beachcomber that they needed to call his fake CFO, Jay Kennedy, to get more details about when the sale of ETA would close. Well, Zachary Stroud knew full well that there is no such person as Jay Kennedy working for him. He is a stock photo. So apparently, we deserve a lot of answers about this supposed sale of ETA to Zachary Stroud's Blume Media, which, as the best research that I've been able to do in the Beachcomber and the Long Beach 4D articles have shown, seems to be a fake shell company. And there's even more controversy around Blume, the alleged criminal past of Stroud, and how these addresses are fake. I looked up the Los Angeles one. It's just some weird shareable space. It's not an actual physical address for Blume Media. So we, as voters, as citizens of Long Beach and the country, deserve to know what's really going on with this sale. And I want to make it painfully clear, I'm not making this video to further my political career. I don't have one. I'm not a politician. I'm a YouTuber. Even though I'm in this race, I'm not doing this to further my position in the race. I'll even go as far to say, as of now, I will shut down donations to my campaign. I have plenty of funds left to get through to March 3rd, so I'm not seeking you to come to my webpage, ryanlum.net, and give me any money. You can read my positions on the issues. That's fine. So anyway, this is where I'm at. My first time running for office. I've come up and hit head on the giant and powerful political machine that operates here in Long Beach. It's been just quite enlightening to see how much money gets funded to candidates from political action committees, unions, independent expenditures from other politicians. It's mind-blowing, and I'm sure it gets even crazier once you scale up to the national level. And I've heard a lot of this talk going on about, she might not be living here in Long Beach and so on and so forth. So to see these articles come out in the Beachcomber and Long Beach 4D articles, it's been quite a revelation. So let me know what you guys think particularly. I want to know how this affects your vote. And I know a few people I've seen have already voted early and they really wish they get their votes back. So let me know. And if you don't live in Long Beach, share with me any stories that you've experienced firsthand with political fraud or corruption or something, whatever this is. I don't want to make any allegations. I'm just, like I said, trying to report the facts as objectively as I can here. So anyway, comment down below, share the story, please. And until next time, remember, get out and vote in California, March 3rd.